Hey, racquetball friends and family, hope all is well. You're tuning into the stay at home battle. Today was day one of the competition, and today's event was the plank. It was fantastic. The energy from the athletes was great. You know, we watched it, we recorded it live. Scott McClellan did a fantastic job at refereeing and officiating all the athletes. They came up with their individual times, and then, of course, the team totals for the end. So stay tuned, take a look. We hope you enjoyed the highlight reel created by my lovely wife, Veronica. There's been a lot of time editing going on here, and hopefully everybody enjoys. This is just day one. Stay tuned, and we're sure those results are going to change. So enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow. What do you think? I was pretty surprised with a couple there. I thought that was impressive for
Yeah,
some.
I mean, like I said, I didn't know Marcela Vargas, but talking about Valeria, hey, she kind of did what maybe a junior is going to do right there, just get involved a little bit, but not really go that long. A little bit, is this, how real is this? A little silly acting, but that's okay. She'll get better as it goes. Mario was steady. Mario looked like he had solid coaching going on at the house there. He had the earbuds on, so he's listening to music, willing to grind, and he did a great job with that. Marcelo, I can't lie, I went and did something else for a second. I told you in the pre-thing I didn't know Marcelo in the first place. Well, I'm sorry. I just happened to be the timing of it. I had to go do one thing for a second. So I kind of missed all of those, but I saw the very end. Looked like he was fighting and grinding at the very end. So they did okay.
In those categories. And that's what I'm expecting too. I'm ready to, our team has been telling ourselves, like, let's get ready to suffer, let's just be prepared for that and invite it in and, just suffer our way to victory pretty much.
What's up now? Come on! Let's go!
Yeah, good day one for starters. Very interesting. Even though, the planking can take a little time, that was interesting, especially at the moment when they're about to fail. Team Amazing, I thought, was solid, just like we thought they would be. Cheryl, no surprise, was a star right off the bat. She looked really strong when you first saw her preparing. And I got notes here, so I'm going to look down at some notes every now and then. Good form. Lasted a little longer than I thought she might, just being the first one right off the bat. And so well done for Cheryl. Tony, not to be unexpected, but one of two that I thought might bring a beer to the competition, and he did. He definitely took a swig off of beer right before he got started. I saw that. No surprise, little cocky move, maybe backfired just a little bit. So yeah, Tony, not the longest at 3:31. Charlie, the star of the team, obviously. So well done to Charlie. He was the first one to really start fighting when it came to this and really try to push past his limits. So Charlie was the MVP of that team.
Déjame una vez, te perdono. Déjame otra vez, no te conozco. Yo te di todo. Déjame sola hoy en la mañana. Déjame para allá, se va la gana. Yo te di todo. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando digo que te amo, sé que no te vale nada. No me juegues como ajedrez. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando digo que te amo, sé que no te vale nada. No.
Team Latinos, one of our favorites.
Yeah, Maria Vargas started that off. And interesting, the setting was different than the first 3 or 4, 5, whatever we're talking about, their first 6, I guess. Racquetball court, had her husband helping her out, I believe. Really focused, it looked like. Wasn't sure if that'd be the case with her, but it was. It was the first one that had a towel underneath her elbows, which, maybe a little bit of an advantage there, maybe a smart move right there. She went for a while. She's strong. She looked like she fought it pretty good, and she did really, really well. Felipe Camacho, the first no-shirt competitor, and looked pretty good. Looked like he's in decent shape right now. Looks like a strong dude. Looks good. He just kind of came into – he's consistently had that look throughout his whole career, but now he's getting old. He's a grown man now fully, and just looks really sharp. Did pretty good. Obviously, I didn't think he would do great at that, carrying a little more weight. So, he did decent for himself. I think he was right where he needed to be. It looked like he was in a sauna a little bit. And then Alex Landa, at first I didn't think he was going to go that good because he looked a little funky with the positioning, looked like he was suffering a little too early. But like you would expect out of the number 2 player in the world, he fought through it mentally. And I'm sure you've been in his ear a lot being his doubles partner right now. So to let you down on this first deal would have been bad. But he kept it going and did really well and kept the team in that top 4 running. And no surprise at all. He fought it. I didn't think. Started off with Kaylani, I believe, correct? Yeah, and she did, kind of a funky positioning with the phone, a little different, like close-up view of her. So that was interesting. Had some things going on in the background. Had some, had the leg going around her neck. So that was different, showing her heritage just a little bit there. Suffering early a little bit, but nice mechanics on everything. Twisting her hips. The first one I saw kind of twist the hips just a tiny bit to maybe alleviate some stress there just a little bit, and she went pretty long. Lalo, little surprised. He's not heavy. He weighs not much. Thought he would do better than that. And I've seen him play racquetball. He's all over the floor. He's a diving machine. He makes great gets and everything. So he has grinding in him. So maybe he'll get better as they go forward. Holly Scott, come on, girl. That's not acceptable right there. I know Cliff's not going to be happy about that one at all. Get your game face on. Stop giggling. Come ready to play tomorrow. This is real stuff.
Let's go, baby. Easy money. Come on.
Started with Adam, and he got off to a decent little start. I don't think his time was exceptional or anything like that. From my notes here, what I'm looking back, he looked like he was adjusting his positions pretty early, kind of the first one out of those first 3 or 4 to do that, and they're off to a start that I kind of expected from that team. Wayne, I thought he was going to go a little longer than that. I don't think he pushed himself as hard as possibly he can go, but I don't know if going early on in this first one is kind of a disadvantage, because you can kind of build up what you're going to need by seeing the other teams and seeing how much they're willing to suffer. I mean, it's really, was he willing to suffer? And maybe a little bit, but not as much as I know he has inside him. So I expect a little bit more out of him going forward. Erica kind of saved the team a little bit by putting up a good performance. Sometimes I was a little bit on her, texting you a little bit about form, but those are your guys' decisions on that. I think she did good and she fought really well. She had some distractions around her at the house too, but she fought through those, and well done to Erica.
For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hay. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls. I'm flipping the all record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin with a quote. On record, off record. I still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow any stuff for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste.
Jose Diaz and his 2.5 Mexicans. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, they started off with Jessica, and obviously the setting was the same for Jessica and Andre. And Jessica, you know, the form wasn't quite there. You guys touched on that, I'm sure, already. But, you know, it's such a big deal with her that's what was on my mind the whole time with her. She fought a little bit. Could have went a little bit better, yeah. You know, I mean, you know, just got to straighten out that form a little bit. Yeah, the rump was a little too high, a little bit too much commotion going on. But in this particular drill activity, she might have served better as the coach of Andre, because she did a good job of that. And her mom and his dad did it as well. And Andre fought like crazy. I thought he was one of the more impressive ones, but he said he was light and that he was going to be able to do this. So well done for Andre to fight this out. Jose Diaz, man, you know, Wi-Fi upstairs at the house. Fremont Street, Stockton, California. Not his best ever. He knew this wasn't going to be his best one. He's a little heavier than most per capita there. So he did. He was trying to get to 3 minutes. I gave him a goal of 5 minutes, and he did not get either one. And it took him 2 runs to go. That's his fault. Got to have Wi-Fi ready to go. Test your shit out. Make sure you're ready. So not really disappointed in Jose, because kind of expected where he came in at. They'll get better as they go on certain other things, I believe. Overall favorite early on before we get to the semis. I picked them as my favorites to win it because of how they went about it today. It was kind of a good example of why I think they'll be in every competition just like this. Acuna, right off the bat, looks really strong. I haven't personally seen him up close since he was maybe a teenager. I mean, he's 18, 19, so he's really strong, kind of just like I expected. You know, first sleeveless guy, performer, had on the Nadal equipment because he's a Nadal himself. With the being El Toro is his nickname. He did great. Paola, you know, was on a business call as well, literally doing a couple things, multitasking like champions do, and she did really well. I didn't think she would really care about this particular event as much, but she just stayed focused and was really, really consistent. And Rocky, although kind of all over the place with his movement and stuff, and looking a little uncomfortable early on right off the bat. He had a hat on. Kind of, was that a good idea to have the hat on backwards like that? I will say his living room looked really nice. I mean, it's really, really nicely decorated. So it's nice kind of get an inside look from that. And early struggles, legs were shaking, but he's a veteran, so he made it as long as he did because he's tough and he's a grinder and a fighter. So good job, Rocky. And that team was really consistent. You guys are my pick to win it, so good job.
Yeah, again, Ellie, we discussed this earlier, and to your point of consistency, out of 15 men, Rocky and Andres finished 6 and 7 overall, and Paola finished 4th. So they did exactly what they needed to do. Paola, again, just incredible. I mean, like a walk in the park. She's on the phone. She's on a business call. She's literally talking about Pan American sports, representing racquetball, and she just bangs out a 5:51 and finishes 4th overall in the women. She probably had another minute or 2 in there if she needed to. So that was super impressive. And, yeah, I couldn't agree. They're definitely, couldn't agree more. They're definitely one of the favorites.
Fuck. Ugh. Motherfucker.
In the air, yeah, I feel it. You better believe it. When I low, yeah, we going high. Gotta climb to the top, but we're never gonna stop. When I low, yeah, we going high. We're going high. We're going high. We're going high. Yeah, 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 yeah. In the air, yeah, I feel it. You better believe it. When I low, yeah, we going high. Gotta climb to the top, no, I'm never gonna stop. When I low, yeah, we going high. I said I woke up, then I got down. I told you I don't play around.
Yep.
Mess with the beasts or you get the horn.
Yeah. Well, obviously Maria Paz right off the bat. Now, form involved. I'm sure you guys had some conversation, but no big deal. She went forever. So one of the longest, if not the longest, correct?
Longest of the day,
Longest.
Alan.
Right. Longest of the day. Looks like she's very, very strong. The background kind of looked like she was in a prison cell too, there in wherever she was. So that gives you that kind of that vibe of, this is all you got. And so she was doing it. She took it and did it really well. Jake, again, beer, Coors in hand, put that down. Looks like he's right in the middle of the wilderness, him and Bigfoot. He's like going to go hang out with Bigfoot right when it's over. He did better than I thought he was going to do early on, like kind of a little all over the place a little bit. But then I even put here, it might not last 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden he just stuck around longer and a little bit longer, a little longer. And the breathing was hilarious at the end. He was very funny, the amount of cussing that he was doing. I really enjoy that stuff from him. So Bobby Horn, kind of like one of those weird things for me because it looked like he could have gone for another 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm a little disappointed that he just didn't stick around, but he's playing the game to win the game, not necessarily worry about how well he does. He knew his girl had a ton of points, so a ton of time. So he just kind of did what he could do. I think he had a couple more minutes in him. So I expect more out of him going forward.